All right.
She's a camera hog.
Disc golf is one of the most unheard of competitive sports in the United States. It can be very difficult to play, considering the things that a player can come across on the course, the types of discs that one can obtain, and the styles of throwing that one can learn. Did you know that a professional disc golf player can throw over 500 feet? I will be discussing the things that a player may come across on the course, like tee boxes, baskets, and terrain. And I will also be discussing the types of discs that a player can obtain, like drivers, mid-ranges, and putters. Finally, I will be discussing the styles of throwing that one can learn, like a backhand, a forehand, and an overhand. Disc golf has a lot to offer to players, especially at all the different courses. What a player may come across at a course are things like tee boxes, baskets, and terrain. These are the tee boxes. These are the baskets. Tee boxes are generally made up of concrete, asphalt, rubber, or grass. This is where the player will take their first initial drive at every hole. Baskets are also located at every hole. The objective of the game is to get the disc in the basket in the least amount of throws. And terrain can include anything from hills, whether they incline or decline, water, like creeks and ponds, and trees. Trust me, there will be lots and lots of trees. Disc golf is actually free to play once you obtain the right discs. The types of discs include a driver, a mid-range, and a putter. A driver is a very thin disc. It is designed to throw at maximum distances and to fly at very extreme speeds. A mid-range is a little thicker than a driver and is designed for very accurate shots while approaching the basket. A putter is a little thicker than the mid-range and is about the same size of a general frisbee. A putter is used for approaching the basket or for putting. I generally use my putter when I'm about 50 to 100 feet out. Unless I'm a little farther than that, I will use my mid-range. A better description of what these discs can do and disc golf lingo can be found at discgolfstation.com. Disc golf is an extremely versatile sport, which allows players to throw whichever style they feel most comfortable. The types of styles of throwing I will be discussing are a backhand, a forehand, and an overhand. A backhand starts when a player is with their throwing arm forward. I am left-handed, so pretend that you have a lawnmower on top of a table. Now, you're going to want to start the lawnmower, correct? So you're pulling and you're pulling on the cord, but then all of a sudden the cord breaks. So you're pulling, and then the cord breaks, so your arm follows through. Now that is the general form of throwing a backhand. Now for a sidearm is kind of like a baseball player sidearming a baseball, except for you're going to want to have a lot more flick. So the player is going to line up with their non-throwing hand forward. And in a motion, they're going to throw a sidearm in a motion kind of like this. Now notice, once I follow through, the disc is flipped at the end. For an overhand throw, also known as a thumber or a tomahawk, depending on how the player holds the discs, is thrown overhand, kind of like this. A tomahawk is when the player takes their fingers and places it on the inside rim of the disc. A thumber is when the player takes their thumb and places it on the inside rim of the disc. I have learned a lot of the styles of throwing from Scott Papa at discraft.com. Disc golf is an extremely versatile sport. as you can see, including the things like what a player may come across on the course, the types of discs that one can obtain, and the styles of throwing that a player can learn.